solve for yield to maturity, or YTM. Sometimes, like in real life, we actually know how much bonds sell for, which was our bond value calculation from the early slides. And sometimes what investors are interested in is calculating the implied yield to maturity, which is like the rate of return on your money every year, or the IY in the financial calculator. One way to calculate it is trial and error using the formula and trying different interest rates until you get the present value that is known. But of course, there is a way to do it very easily in the financial calculator. Let's look at the following example. Skyfall Company issues corporate bonds to raise money for a new investment project. So it would like to borrow money, essentially. The bonds that this company issues have the following characteristics: 10 years to maturity, 9% coupon rate, coupons paid semi-annually, and the company can raise $880.50 with each bond. What is the yield to maturity? Okay, in the financial calculator, we are given 10 years, but we are going to have to input 20 for the number of coupons, right? Just like before. For the PMT, the coupon amount, every year, we need to do 9% coupon rate multiplied by 1,000, which gives $90 per year. And then to make it semi-annual, we divide $90 by 2 and get 45. So that's our PMT. Then, as always, the future value is $1,000, and this time we are given the present value, which is $880.50. And we are gonna have to compute the IY, the yield to maturity, in this problem. Notice one important thing. We are given $3 amounts: the PMT, the FV, and the PV. What do you do with the signs? Everything that's today is one sign. Everything that's in the future is with the opposite sign. For example, the way I, put my signs here is I left both PMT and the future value, which are both in the future, as positive, and I changed the sign to a negative for the present value. But you can also do it the other way around. When you do that, you will get 5.5%. It looks like this is our answer, right? Actually, it's not. We are missing one more step. Why? What's going on here? Because everything in our problem is semi-annual, the interest rate we get is also semi-annual. So 5.5% is for half a year. And what's really meant by yield to maturity is the annual interest rate, the annual yield to maturity. And so the last step that we need to do is multiplying our answer by 2 to convert the answer to its annual equivalent. And so 5.5% per half a year multiplied by 2 gives 11%. This is the right answer. Let's do this math in the financial calculator. Let's bring it up, turn it on. First, let's make sure it hasn't stored anything from any earlier calculations. Let's reset it. Second, plus minus, enter. We can also increase the decimal places. And we do that by pressing second decimal place. Let's make it 6. 6, enter. And I just turned the calculator off and then back on. And the calculator is now going to round everything to 6 decimal places. So we need to solve for the yield to maturity, or IY, in the financial calculator. And we need to enter the number of coupons, which is 20. So 20N. Then the coupon amount itself, or the payment, PMT, is 45 PMT. Because I left it as positive, my $1,000 face value or the future value should also be positive. So I put 1,000, and without changing the sign, I press FV. And only for the bond price or the present value, I'm gonna change the sign to negative. So I put 880.50 negative PV. And I'm computing IY, compute IY. So we get 5.499965. If you round it to 2 decimal places, we will get 5.5, like on my slide. And then you multiply that by 2 and get the annual yield to maturity, 11%.